always been raised in a single parent home with just my mom, so I didn't have a father for most of my life. Um, my father was always in and out of my life, and he'd pop in, pop out, and I've had those times where he'd call and say he's coming, but he wouldn't show up. So I'd be playing basketball outside, or I'd be sitting on the sidewalk waiting for him to come, and he'd never come. So I've never had a good father figure in my life. I mean, I've had coaches, and I've had some of my mom's friends that were sort of like a father figure, but they didn't have that type of father label to it as like your dad would. So that's why I think I found my way into sports, kind of. Not just because I love sports, but because it's a way for me to let out all of my emotions without doing anything that's disrespectful or doing anything that's harming anything or anyone. It's kind of just been there for me so that I'm able to let everything out, because there's times when I hate my dad because he wasn't in my life. And how could your dad just I've always thought that how could your dad just leave you if he's your dad, and he's part of the reason why you're on this planet? Why would he just leave you for that? So I've always had that anger. Whenever I get mad, I turn to sports, or I do something to calm me down. I relax. I either relax, watch TV, or I play sports, because those are just outlets that I can reach to, kind of like scapegoats, to where I can release all my anger and release all my emotions so that nothing bad happens, and it's just a good way to release it so that it's not there anymore. But I mean, that's how I get through most of my stuff when it comes to my dad, and how, like, just whenever I'm angry, I turn to sports or I relax just so I can get it all off my mind, and that's how I continue to get through everything, because that's just how that's just what's been there for me, and that's what's easy for me to get through hard times.
Ever since I was little, I was very athletic. I would always be playing sports, whether it was basketball, soccer, football, practically anything. When I started my freshman year in high school, I was a three-sport athlete. I played JV volleyball, varsity basketball, and did varsity throwing for track. Then my sophomore year came, and everything started out very well. I got moved up to varsity for volleyball and basketball. But then on December 16, 2014, I was playing a preseason basketball home game. I was a wing, and I was going up for a left-handed layup, and I took a step, and my whole right knee just buckled and gave out. I ended up tearing my anterior cruciate ligament, my ACL, my lateral and medial meniscus. I blew up my lateral collateral ligament, LCL, to where it had no function. After surgery, I didn't have the greatest mindset. I was just devastated. I was stuck on why me? Like, why is this happening to me? But once I got out of that mentality and looked at this more as a challenge rather than a setback, everything got better really quick. I started going to the gym 6 days a week and physical therapy 3 of those days, and I ended up getting cleared a month early. They told me I wouldn't be cleared for about 9 to 12 months, and I got cleared in 8. And now I'm doing everything I used to be able to do, and I'm almost just as strong as I was before. Everyone was saying I was done and I couldn't come back from this based off of the severity of my injury. But I did, and now I want to go to college for kinesiology and become a physical therapist, so I can help young kids just like me get through the pain and get better and stronger, because you can overcome anything if you set your mind to it.
About a year ago, my big sister Vanessa passed away from an asthma attack. Her lungs were really bad. She'd done a lot of bad stuff growing up, and she was only 20 years old when she died. And it was hard thinking, I could have helped. I could have told her to stop doing drugs. I could have told her, be careful, Vanessa, think about your future. And that would just go through my head on and on. So keeping busy, water polo really helped. Having practices, having games, reading books, just everything that embraces and takes over your time, it really just helped me not think about what was happening, because I would sit down and I think like my big sister's gone and I just break down. But I had to tell myself, time goes on. Time will not wait for you. You have to, get over it. And to this day, it's still really hard to just sit down and think about her and be like, she's not here. Do I remember her voice? Do I remember what she looks like? Do I remember like the memories with her? And it's getting harder as time goes on, but it's getting easier to cope with. I really do like reading books because in books I see my sister. In drawing, I see my sister because that was one of her passions. And I just wish every day that she knows I miss her and I love her. And that every day it's getting easier to deal with the fact that she's gone. And I don't want her to think, she failed us. And I just got to remember every day is a new stone. And I'll get through it.
Well, my younger brother and his family has caused me and my family many problems. Problems that don't really have to do anything with us. Me and my brother have been really close. I told my brother everything, and he told me everything. And he told me that he would never do what my oldest brother had done to us, which is to take my nieces away and to stop talking to us for good. I've been through it once, can go through it again. But as of now, he has just done the same thing. He is no different. He told me he didn't want to end up how he was, but that is just exactly what he's doing. How I'm sitting here trying to get over everything that's happening. I just try and be alone and just drive around and try and be at a place where I can think. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out. But things happen. My brother meant everything to me. But, he's gone now.
His head looks lopsided now. Hold on. Just killed. Dang, I looked at